The story begins with a woman named Mallory, who is sitting in her studio, painting quietly. She's pregnant. Her baby is due in just a few days. Everything seems normal until her sister Jessica walks in and says, "Mallory, have you seen the news? Something strange is happening all over the world." Curious, Mallory turns on the TV. The news shows terrifying reports. In Russia, people are suddenly losing control of their minds. They look at something and then immediately kill themselves. No one knows if it's a virus, a disease, or something supernatural. All that's clear is, once you see it, you die. Jessica gets worried, but Mallory ignores it, saying it's probably just fake news. The two sisters then leave for Mallory's pregnancy checkup at the hospital. There, the doctor tells her, "Good news, Mallory. Your baby is healthy, and you'll be a mother very soon." Mallory smiles, relieved, and the sisters head home. But as they walk out of the hospital, Mallory notices a woman banging her head against a glass window, again and again until she dies. Mallory freezes in shock. Jessica grabs her hand, and they rush to the car. Mallory says nervously, "Jess, I think that thing from Russia, it's here." Within minutes, chaos spreads through the streets. People are panicking, screaming, and killing themselves for no reason. Jessica drives as fast as she can, but suddenly, she sees something on the road. Her eyes change color, her expression turns blank, and she loses control of the car. Mallory screams, "Jess, stop the car." But it's too late, the car crashes violently. Both sisters survive the crash, but before Mallory can react, Jessica steps out of the car and calmly walks in front of a speeding truck. She's killed instantly. Mallory watches in horror. Her own sister dies right before her eyes. Panicking, she runs down the street as chaos erupts everywhere. People are crashing cars, setting fires, and jumping from buildings. In the middle of the madness, someone tries to help her, but that woman also sees something and sets herself on fire. Mallory is frozen until a man named Tom rushes over and drags her to safety inside a nearby house. Inside, a small group of terrified survivors has already gathered. They lock the doors and shut the windows, trying to understand what's happening. The news still plays on the TV. Something invisible is outside, something that drives you insane the moment you see it. Inside the house, Mallory sees a few frightened strangers. Douglas, an old grumpy man, his young wife Cheryl, a kind woman named Lucy, a quiet guy named Charlie, and another man named Greg who owns the house. Everyone is scared and confused. They've all seen the chaos outside. The news keeps repeating one thing: do not look outside. Stay indoors. Cover all windows. Once you see it, you die. Tom tells the group, "I saw people killing themselves out there. It's real, whatever it is, it's not human." Greg comes up with an idea. He says, "We can use the house's security cameras to look outside safely. If we watch it through the screen, maybe it won't affect us." Everyone hesitates, but Greg decides to test his theory. He connects the cameras and starts watching. First, everything seems fine. But after a few seconds, his face changes, he sees something. He starts crying, smiling strangely, and finally, smashes his own head against the wall, dying instantly. The others are horrified. They immediately cover all the windows with newspapers and blankets. Douglas, angry and scared, says, "We can't let anyone else in. No one. If someone's infected, we'll all die." Time passes. One day, they hear someone banging on the door. A pregnant woman named Olympia begs to be let in. Douglas refuses, but Mallory insists. "She's pregnant. Just like me. We can't leave her out there." Tom agrees, and they let Olympia inside. She's terrified and weak, but thankful. The two pregnant women bond instantly. Days go by, and the group starts to run out of food. Tom says, "We'll have to go out, blindfolded." They cover the car windows with black paint and use the GPS to navigate. Driving slowly through the empty city, they reach a supermarket. Once inside, they find shelves full of food. It feels like a miracle. Everyone relaxes for a while. Charlie, the store worker, says he knows a freezer room where more supplies are kept. But when he opens it, something unseen pulls him inside. Charlie screams and sacrifices himself, closing the door behind him to save the others. Shaken, the group loads up the car with food and returns home safely. For the first time in days, they eat a proper meal and share a moment of peace. But that peace doesn't last long. Days pass quietly inside the house. Mallory and Olympia's pregnancy continues. Both are due very soon. The group has started to feel a little safer. Until one evening, they hear another knock on the door. A man's voice cries, "Please, let me in. I'm not infected." The group argues again. Douglas warns, "No one opens that door. That's how we die." But Tom decides to check. He opens the door just enough to see a man named Gary, terrified and shaking. Gary tells them, "I was with another group. They went crazy. They started forcing people to open their eyes, to see whatever's out there." Hearing this, the group reluctantly lets Gary inside. But Douglas doesn't trust him. He keeps glaring, muttering, "I told you outsiders will kill us." Over the next few days, Gary acts polite, but something feels off. He keeps drawing strange pictures of the creatures, with swirling black shapes and monstrous faces. Mallory notices and gets suspicious. One morning, while everyone is asleep, Gary opens all the windows of the house. The wind blows in, the light seeps through. Douglas tries to stop him, but Gary pushes him into the garage, locking him in. Olympia suddenly goes into labor, screaming in pain. At the same time, Mallory's water breaks too. Both women are giving birth together, while chaos erupts outside the room. Gary walks around smiling eerily, whispering, "You have to see them. They're beautiful." He opens another window. Cheryl sees the light and instantly goes insane, stabbing herself with scissors. Gary grabs the newborn babies, but Mallory, weak and bleeding, fights back. Tom arrives just in time and tackles Gary, beating him to death. The noise stops. Both babies are alive. One is Mallory's son, the other Olympia's daughter. But Olympia didn't survive. Mallory holds both infants close, tears streaming down her face. From that moment, she decides to raise both children as her own, one boy, one girl. She names them simply boy and girl, because in this world, names mean nothing anymore. Only survival matters. Years have passed since that terrible day. Mallory now lives with Tom and the two children, boy and girl. They've built a quiet life together, staying hidden and careful. Tom teaches the kids how to listen, how to move blindfolded, and how to survive in silence. One evening, while they're having dinner, Tom hears a voice on the radio. A man says there's a safe community deep in the forest, near the river. He says, "Follow the river downstream. If you can make it, you'll be safe." Tom and Mallory decide to leave soon, but before they can, a group of dangerous survivors finds their hideout. These people are different. They've seen the creatures but somehow didn't die. Instead, they've gone insane and now try to force others to open their eyes. Tom tells Mallory to take the kids and hide. He steps outside with a gun to distract the attackers. A violent fight breaks out. Gunshots echo through the air. Mallory shouts his name, but Tom yells back, "Don't look, Mallory. Keep your eyes closed." One of the men tries to make him see, but Tom resists till the end. In his final moment, he opens his eyes, sees the creature, and just before losing control, he kills the last attacker and saves his family. Then, Tom takes his own life. Mallory is heartbroken but doesn't stop. She gathers food, wraps the children, and sets out on the river journey Tom told her about. The river is cold, the current strong, and all three wear blindfolds. Mallory keeps saying, "Don't take your blindfolds off, no matter what you hear." Along the way, mysterious whispers try to trick them, voices that sound like loved ones. The children almost fall into the water, but Mallory saves them every time. After days of struggle, they finally reach the end of the river. Mallory shouts for help, and a voice answers. It's the same man from the radio. He leads them into a large building surrounded by trees. Inside, they remove their blindfolds for the first time in years, and what they see makes them cry. It's a safe sanctuary, a community of survivors, including the blind, who are immune to the creatures. Mallory finally hugs the children tightly. When someone asks their names, she says softly, "His name is Tom, and her name is Olympia." For the first time, she lets go of her fear and holds on to hope. The camera's upward, showing hundreds of birds flying freely above the safe zone. The sound of birdsong fills the air. A sanity still survives.